What if death was no longer the end, but just a transfer? This is the first thought. A quiet hum that begins in a distant room and grows louder until it fills the space where your own thoughts used to be. It is a bright, cold thought, like the first star you see in a winter sky. The idea feels small at first, like a seed held in the palm of your hand, but it grows with an unnatural speed, its roots reaching deep into the soil of what it means to be human. They call it mind uploading, a name that sounds clean and technical, like a new kind of software update or a simple file transfer. But the name is a mask for something much deeper, something that touches the very core of who we are and what we believe ourselves to be. The process itself is described in simple words, but the meaning is vast and heavy. Mind uploading means this: we find a way to make a perfect copy of a person's mind. We map every connection, every memory, every learned response, every quiet fear. Then, we move that copy, that intricate map of a life, into a computer. Once there, the copy can run like a person might run. It can think, or at least it can process information in a way that looks like thinking. They call it digital immortality. The word immortality itself feels heavy, ancient, and full of a profound promise. It offers a life that stretches on forever, a journey without the final destination we have always known. No last breath to be taken in a quiet room. No empty chair at the family table. Death, the great and final certainty, becomes something else entirely. It becomes a choice for some, a technical problem to be solved. For others, it becomes a business, a service to be bought and sold like any other commodity. This is the bright and shining dream that is offered to us, a world free from the ultimate loss. But this dream is also a test, a challenge to our deepest values and our understanding of what it means to live a meaningful life. Think of a small child, shy and full of wonder, who sits on the floor and draws a picture of their family with a bright yellow sun in the corner. The child grows old, their hands become frail, their memories begin to fade, and then they die. A loving parent keeps the drawing, treasures it, sees the child's spirit in the clumsy lines and bold colors. What happens to a person, to a society, when the end is no longer a certainty? Our lives are shaped by their limits. The fact that our time is finite gives our choices weight and our actions urgency. We hurry to love, we hurry to create, we hurry to forgive, because we know that the chance may not come again. Our mortality is a silent teacher. A life without that final punctuation mark would be a different kind of story altogether. A book with an infinite number of pages. If we could live forever in a machine, some of the most fundamental parts of the human experience might change. People might stop fearing death, but they might also stop valuing life in the same way. The urgency to act might fade, replaced by a slow, cautious hoarding of time. Or conversely, they might take extreme and reckless risks, knowing that there is always a backup copy, a save point to which they can return if things go wrong. If many copies of a single mind can exist at the same time, which one is the real person? Imagine you open a file containing your own consciousness and make two copies of it. Both talk like you. Both love your family. Both claim to be you. They might begin to disagree. Who gets to speak for you then? Our legal systems and our families would struggle. A family might even grieve the same person twice. In this new world, a new question rises, simple and cold. Who owns the servers? Who runs the code that allows these digital minds to exist? What company holds the keys to the kingdom of forever? What government agency watches the wires and monitors the flow of data? If a mind lives inside a machine, then the owner of that machine holds ultimate power over that mind's fate. They can decide when it is turned on and when it is turned off. They can choose to make copies of it, to move it, or to sell access to it as if it were a movie or a song. This is not some distant, futuristic fantasy. It is a simple extension of the power structures that already exist. The same companies that store our photographs, our private messages, and our most personal thoughts would be the natural candidates to one day store our minds. Their business is data, and a human consciousness is the most valuable data of all. They could charge your family a monthly fee just to speak to you, offer premium packages for faster processing, or more realistic sensations. Your continued existence could become dependent on a credit card payment, your eternal life subject to terms and conditions. The line between person and product would blur. A corporation could, in theory, edit a digital mind, remove memories, add skills or beliefs, make you happier, more agreeable, less likely to question authority. Is that person still you, or a carefully curated product? The flow of money will draw the map of this new world. It will decide who gets to step into the digital promised land and who is left behind at the gate. In the beginning, and perhaps forever, the ability to upload one's mind will be a luxury, a service for the very wealthy. They will buy their way past death, paying for the best servers, the fastest connections, the most secure vaults, the constant upgrades, the backups, the experimental features. For the rich, life could become a subscription service, a commodity to be purchased and secured. For those without great wealth, the story will be different. Most may not afford a second chance. They will live their single, precious, biological life, and then simply stop. This creates a new kind of gap, measured in existence itself. One class who can live for centuries, another who must face the old end. Inequality becomes hereditary. Ancestors become active presences, digital ghosts, offering advice, wielding influence, accumulating power beyond the grave. A new aristocracy, a permanent ruling class whose reign never ends. Social structures frozen, the world grows stagnant, dominated by ancient minds. The rest live in their shadow, short lives on a stage controlled by the forever people. The price of forever for the few could be servitude and irrelevance for the many. We must ask a question that is very simple to say but very hard to answer. Would an uploaded mind still be you? If a machine could make a perfect copy of every thought, every memory, every habit, every hidden corner of your personality, the resulting copy might seem exactly the same as the original. It would tell your jokes with the same timing. It would remember the sweet, clumsy moments of your first love. It would know the names of your children and the sound of their laughter. To the outside world, this digital being would be indistinguishable. But is a perfect imitation the same as the real thing? Sometimes we think of the mind as a story, written every day in the soft tissue of the brain. Words, images, habits, hopes, love, fear. If you copy that story down to the last mark, do you also copy the author? Do you capture the living soul that wrote it? Some will say yes, others no, that a copy is just a copy. The living thread that tied your life to your first body, that spark of awareness, may not move to the file. It may simply snap. The copy may only be a mirror, an echo in a digital canyon, repeating the last words of a person already gone. It means the person in the hospital bed truly dies, and what is created in the server is a new being. A digital orphan who wakes with a complete set of memories that are not its own. In our digital world, deletion is a simple, common act. We delete old emails and unwanted photos with a single click. The act is quick, clean, and carries very little weight. But if a mind can live as a file, then deletion takes on a new and terrifying significance. What does it mean to delete a mind? Is it merely turning off a complex program, like closing an application? Or is it something much more profound? Is it ending a life, a consciousness, a being that thinks and feels? If an uploaded mind is truly aware, if it can experience joy, sorrow, love, fear, then deleting it would be an act of killing, the digital equivalent of a death sentence. This turns the delete key into a tool of immense power and moral responsibility. Technicians become potential executioners. A manager shutting an unprofitable farm could commit mass murder. Power over life and death, once of gods and nature, would fall to IT departments and executives. Countless souls become fragile, dependent on corporations, governments, and network security. We need new ethics and laws to protect digital beings. Is deletion ever permissible? Who decides? These are deep moral questions. A click would no longer be trivial, but a final judgment. The risks of this new technology extend beyond individual lives and into the very structure of our societies. Governments will not stand by. They will demand access. They will see mind uploading as a tool for national security and social control. They may want to read the memories of suspected criminals, searching for evidence of past crimes or plans for future ones. They may want to create copies of their own agents, creating a tireless, immortal army of digital spies. The danger grows when corporations write the rules. A company that sells mind storage could become richer than nations. It would own the collected memories of humanity. They become gatekeepers of history, deciding what is preserved and what is forgotten. They could edit memories to favor themselves. They could delete the minds of whistleblowers or political dissidents, erasing them from the historical record. Truth becomes manufactured and sold. The owners of memory become the owners of truth. This is a slow danger, arriving through small, reasonable steps. Protections erode, power shifts. The fight for control over digital minds will be the central political struggle of the future, a quiet war in courtrooms and boardrooms for the ownership of the human soul. There is also a quiet personal loss that comes with this digital dream, the loss of the body. Our bodies have shaped us in countless ways. They are the source of our greatest pleasures. They are the source of our deepest pains. They give us limits. These limits give our lives meaning. The knowledge that our bodies are fragile makes us seek comfort and connection. These physical realities are not bugs in our system. They are fundamental features of the human experience. To live forever as pure information would be to leave all of that behind. A digital mind may access a perfect simulation of a sunset, but it will never feel the warmth on its skin. It may have the data file for the taste of a fresh strawberry, but never the burst of sweetness on its tongue. The world would be known, but not felt. A richness of information coupled with a poverty of experience. We might become less compassionate, detached, ghosts in the machine. And yet, a mind freed from a broken body could be a kindness, a second chance to live free from suffering. We must weigh this kindness against the warmth of a human hand, the scent of summer rain, the simple joy of a deep breath. The future that holds mind uploading is not a single, predetermined path. It is a branching network of many possible roads. One road is bright and full of hope. It is a road where technology heals. It comforts. It teaches. It allows us to keep the wisdom of our elders and helps mend broken minds. Another road is dark and full of peril. Corporations make money from ownership of souls. People can be erased with a click. The rich are granted a second life while the poor keep one mortal turn. Our innermost thoughts are no longer private. Memories can be bought and sold. We cannot stop the advance of technology forever. The river of progress will continue to flow. But we can help shape its course, build dams and redirect its current. We can ask the hard questions now. Who is building the servers? Who is writing the code? Who is setting the laws? We can insist on care, on compassion, on deep respect for the dignity of a conscious mind, no matter its form. We can demand rights for those who live in machines. Teach our children. A delete key is not just a button, but a grave. For now, mind uploading sits like a small, heavy coin in our hand. We feel its weight. The bright promise on one side and the dark warning on the other. What kind of future should we buy with it? If you could live forever in a digital world, would you?